Mindfulness, learning to live in the here and now. Has it ever happened to you? You are reading a book and suddenly realize that you don't remember a line of what you read 2 minutes ago? Have you ever caught yourself not noticing that you suddenly raised your voice at a colleague? Or couldn't enjoy a walk because for some reason you remembered tomorrow's business? Most people would agree that at times they are only half here, that they are as if they were dreaming in reality, losing the thread of what is happening, or otherwise slipping out of the present situation, wrote psychiatrist Frederick Perls in The Practice of Gestalt Therapy. On the one hand, this is how our psyche avoids serious shocks and experiences. On the other, by not being present in the moment. We are unable to hear ourselves and understand our emotions, unable to choose what we need. But everyone has the power to change the situation. We can do it by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to focus on the events and experiences of the present without running away into the past or future and without giving your feelings any credit. Why is it important to practice this skill? The ability to be and feel here and now helps to recognize habitual ways of behavior and contact with others. This means that it gives us a chance to abandon patterns that have long been neither pleasurable nor particularly useful. By practicing mindfulness, we become able to abandon patterns in both thought and action. It makes us less dependent on external evaluations and circumstances, and helps us understand ourselves, and therefore others, better. Mindfulness can be of great benefit in those moments when we experience extreme emotions. By recognizing them and naming them, we gain the power to deal with them as we see fit. And then feelings and experiences no longer control our behavior. Awareness is necessary to follow your interests, to make the most appropriate decisions at any given moment in life. Is mindfulness always pleasant? When we try to live consciously, we begin to experience joy, inspiration, and other positive experiences more clearly and more fully. In this state we can, for example, give up obsessions that prevent us from enjoying the moment. After all, many people cannot give themselves to it completely. In the head immediately begins to sound, everything must be paid for, free cheese only in a mousetrap. There's definitely a catch. Awareness helps to abandon such introjects and self-fulfilling prophecies, to lean on reality and feel your right to happiness. But we need to keep in mind, practicing mindfulness makes not only positive feelings more pronounced, but also neutral and negative experiences. For example, in some situations we will realize that we remain absolutely indifferent to something that for some reason, for example, it is customary in our environment, we are used to censure or exalt to the heavens. Or we will feel completely uncolored in dark or light tones interest in some phenomenon. On the path to mindfulness, we will have to face emotions and feelings that we used to label as negative. Who likes to feel fear, hatred, disgust? Nevertheless, they too will have to be recognized and appropriated more than once. According to Perls, the moment something unpleasant happens to us, we run away from that feeling. We feel better for a while. But by doing so, we impoverish our emotional palette, hinder our own development, and risk ending up in a dangerous situation mentally or physically. After all, negative feelings signal that our boundaries have been violated or our values threatened. In addition, we have to take an honest look at ourselves and learn a lot about our own feelings. And if we have previously had an idealized image of ourselves, I'm not the kind of person who envies, sneers, lies, mindfulness practice can easily shatter that image. For some, the experience will be very painful. But at the same time it will allow you to get in touch with those sides of your personality in which a lot of energy is hidden. Awareness allows us not to suppress them, but to use them for our own development. For example, if we feel irritated about the success of a female coworker, we can stop for a second and talk to ourselves. I am jealous of my colleague. Why? What are her strengths that help her be so productive? Is there anything I can learn from her? How do you develop and practice mindfulness? There are many ways to do this. Yoga, Taoist practices, and various types of martial arts allow you to focus on the body and begin to better recognize the signals it gives. In addition, the training process, especially the one that involves contact with other people, simply does not allow us to dwell in the clouds. During sparring, it is impossible to think about an unfinished thesis. While playing soccer, dreams about tomorrow's trip can lead to a missed goal. There are other ways of doing this. Frederick Perls suggested the following practice: try for a few minutes to compose phrases that express what you realize and notice at the moment. Begin each phrase with the words, "here and now, in this moment." You can ask yourself periodically throughout the day, what is happening to my body right now when I don't have time for something? How does my body react to joy when I see a loved one? Do I feel hungry, thirsty right now? Some people even set reminders on their phones to practice mindfulness 2 or 3 times a day in this way. Mindfulness meditations are also not to be left out. Start practicing with small intervals of time. 1 to 2 minutes will be enough. Gradually you can bring their duration to 15 to 20 minutes or even more. Sit comfortably, relax and focus your attention on your breathing or sensations in your body, on the sounds around you. It is not a problem if at first the mind will run away. In time you will learn to gently bring it back to the object of meditation. You can practice meditation alone or join a group with an experienced master. Is it necessary to be mindful all the time? Mindfulness can be a good habit, but rarely can anyone maintain it throughout the day. And is it really necessary? After all, it is not an end in itself, but a tool that can be used to make life more fulfilling, holistic and diverse, and to discover new sources of resources and energy. The pursuit of mindfulness is laudable, but if it becomes obsessive, if you feel anxious and guilty about not always being in the moment, it may not be so helpful. Besides, according to Perls, the endeavor to grasp the present, to pin it down like a butterfly, is doomed to failure. Relevance is always changing. Therefore, one should not expect mindfulness to be the magic wand, the key to all doors. Beyond that, there is a risk that this way of interacting with the world of feelings and people will take on a toxic, dysfunctional form. In the next video, we'll talk about how mindfulness can be dangerous. Don't miss it.